when you're lying in bed and you reach over to your nightstand and reach to grab your phone and you pick up the remote on accident, the reason that you know that you touch the remote is because of your somatosensory system. That is the input system to the central nervous system. It's our sensory input system. And the reason you could tell if you touch a glass of water and it's hot or cold, or if someone puts something really light in your hand, you can tell all of those things because those are the input signals. Now, in 1 square inch of your arm, so a very small part of your arm or anywhere in your body, there's over 200 pain receptors. There's roughly 10 receptors for temperature, and then there is 15 or so receptors for different types of pressure. So in this video, we're going to chat about different inputs to the central nervous system. Those inputs can be mechanical pressure, muscle stretch, joint position, heavy and light touch, chemical concentrations, vibration, temperature. All of those things are being processed peripherally via our afferent nervous system to then spit out a cortical-driven efferent response. Now, some of that is neocortex, where we think about the response and then we can adapt accordingly. And a lot of recent pain science has talked about that concept of we need to teach people neuroscience education where we top down process what's going on. And that works really well. But the other side of that is the bidirectionality of this is the input to the nervous system. So when someone is coming in with pain, their body is guarding, let's say their joints are holding tension, they have a sensitivity to all of these inputs to the nervous system. And so in my clinical practice, ways that I sort of play with the inputs to the nervous system is through different hands-on work or different loading techniques, using hot, cold, using vibration via massage guns and things like that. Because if we can alter the input, then we can give time or open up space for a different output. So ways that on the common sense side of it, using stretching techniques or different balance techniques for joint position, using different hands-on stuff for heavy and light touch or changing the mechanical pressure of the tissue. By giving that sort of input into the system, we're helping rework or rewire then how they can process that input. Now, ultimately, we need to get those people back exercising, loading, doing functional activities to get them back to their goals. But the sort of way to jumpstart or kickstart this process is to work on some of these inputs to the nervous system. So, and don't discredit that, is because so often we typically think of just the top-down aspect of treating pain, but the altering the input, changing the afferent response, or giving them different ability to think about how to process that opens up space on the output response. And working both sides of that equation is really the sweet spot on how to help people get out of pain. So I would, in your clinical practice, think about different ways that you can target these inputs to the central nervous system. And I think you'll find really good outcomes on how that can change around the person's perception of pain.